as always, welcome everybody to this
Thank
very,
you.
very unstructured first episode of this untitled thing. We don't know what it is. We just
Howdy, I don't know how to act. It's my first podcast, I think.
you
Is
don't
it
have.
really?
I don't know. I think I was in Butcherson's before. It's been a long time.
We're just chatting, having a good
Yeah.
time, having a gaff,
Just a conversation. Make it natural.
Mm-hmm.
and we can talk about.
And I don't have to worry about being bullied about it in school.
I know we can talk about all the video games you want because as today it was the PlayStation Showcase.
I didn't get to watch any of it.
You saw some trailers.
Yeah, I saw your trailers.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Which
No.
one do you want to talk about first? Is there any
We should
that's
just-
like pressing for anybody?
We should just go in order.
Go in
how they-
order.
Yeah, I think the first thing they really showed was just that teaser of Darth Raven for the Knights of the Old Republic remake.
Oh God, I'm so fucking hard. I haven't even seen the trailer, but like I've heard rumor of it going around, like even before the release, that they were gonna redo it, and I was like, oh please, fuck.
I didn't know it was going to be for the PS5. I just was expecting it for PC. Honestly. Because
Right.
it is originally, isn't it originally just for PC?
Yeah.
Or was it for, yeah. I was trying to play through the PC version, but it required a lot of, modern workarounds and mods and stuff just to
I
get,
think
a,
I think I
a
saw you
resolution.
trying to.
Yeah, and there were a lot of times I did get a good ways in the original because I wanted to play through 1 and 2, but I just never got around to finishing it at some point. When I wanted to go back, I had to redo all the mods, and I like crap. But now that we got the remake coming in, or is it remaster? Remake? Yes, remake.
Yeah.
Does that technically mean that everything in there is going to be canonical now? Because Disney said that the only things that they're going to be releasing were canon.
I don't think so.
But I don't think this is. It's not like. I guess it is Disney owned, huh? I mean, it's still
all of it's
Star
Disney
Wars.
owned now.
I don't
They're just
think
leasing
so.
I heard. I saw that question popping up though. Actually, just now when I was going through the internet, somebody was like, "So is this canon now?" Or, I mean,
Well, they are making that old Knights of the Republic TV show that takes place a few hundred years before the main storyline, but I think this is just the game.
fair.
Interesting.
I mean, Disney doesn't have to specifically say or have their name on it, right? With it being released through Star Wars, just be like
no,
Star Wars, and have the little Disney logo under there or something. Kind of like how Marvel does with all their stuff.
Because so far they everything that they released has come back as canon. Like Fallen Order and all the new High Republic stuff. So it's a good question to be asked at the very least.
Well, I mean, Lucasfilm Games is helping develop it along with, I haven't heard of this company, Aspyr, ASPYR.
Nice.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, it was originally BioWare's game, so
Was it BioWare or Bethesda? No, yeah, BioWare. you're right.
BioWare, yeah, it was
BioWare
BioWare.
had the Bounty Hunter 6969 game or whatever it was called.
I don't really know about that one, but BioWare definitely did do Knights of the Old Republic though.
Well, it is
So-
a console exclusive for a year for Sony.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
mean, that's
Either
sweet.
6 months or a year.
Mm-hmm.
God, I can't wait.
However, those consoles and exclusivity contracts work, since that seems to be the only thing that matters nowadays.
I mean, Sony seems to have profited pretty well off of it when it hurt Xbox quite a few times for, letting go of their titles.
I'll be honest, I actually wasn't even expecting this release to come out in general. When you started posting those links, and I was like, wait a minute, where is Sony coming at with all these games? And then I saw a link to the actual show, and I was like, oh yeah, come join us on September 9th. I didn't even see what time it was, but like I said, I had just watched the almost the entire thing. There were a few things I skipped over, like the videos that I did see, except for Spider-Man 2. I had to watch that one again. But
Well, we'll get to it.
Yeah, I'll gas them out about that here in a second.
Well, I was gonna
But,
say, yeah, because this is only just a teaser. There's no gameplay, which usually means it's quite a ways off. So
right, yeah.
I'm expecting
but
like,
already from what I've seen though.
yeah, it's pretty good. I'm expecting maybe 2023 to come out. Either way, because I always wanted to play KOTOR, and I never really had a computer to do it.
Yeah.
So,
Dude, I
It's,
ended up going back and playing a lot of it just because they do that sale for every May 4th, you know?
right, yeah, all the Star Wars stuff.
I should have
It
picked
makes
it
me
up.
wonder because since it's going to be a remake, are they actually going to revamp a lot of the skill systems and all that? Because
I would assume so.
I would hope so. Because
It's very dated.
yeah, like the
It's
game,
like was it Dragon Age Origins?
right? I mean, even if they turn it like more action RPG, just like the way they made like the classes and all that work.
Yeah.
Like they have a Jedi or the Force using class, wielding lightsabers as its own class, and you'd think that'd be a given being a Star Wars game, but they also gave you like two other class choices, like one of them being like the range rogue type, and you don't wield lightsabers and all that. You don't wield any of that. You have like the vibro sabers, and you
Vibro
mostly
blades? Yeah.
yeah, the vibro blades and the what is it, the like the blasters and all that.
Uh-huh.
But it all becomes useless later on in the game. Like even a lot of the guides will tell you saying, "Hey, I know this seems like a cool idea, but it is a Star Wars game after all, and you're gonna want a lightsaber, So you're kind of gimping yourself because let's be honest, like with Han Solo
Lesbians.
trying to fight, yeah, well that too, but the regular like I said, like a hunter or Han Solo, whatever, trying to fight, a force wielder. I mean, just kind of ain't gonna happen. Like it'll work throughout like the other parts of the game. You're fighting just regular dudes, but when you're starting to fight like and Sith and all that, I'm sorry, your blaster ain't gonna do shit.
I'm excited about it in general, just seeing where it goes.
Well, I'm excited that you're all excited.
Aw,
But I'm also excited about a cyborg swordswoman with a fat ass.
Oh, we talking about Ghostwire Tokyo?
Yo, I want to see that so much.
Well, I was
I'm gonna
talking
play
about Project
Oh.
Eve, but yeah, we can talk about
Oh yeah,
Ghostwire.
Hold on. We can go back to that. Project Eve, yeah. I got really excited because, like I told you earlier, Alex, I thought it was gonna be like a continuation of Parasite Eve, and I was like, my dick is hard for this. But then I watched the trailer, and I was like, it's still pretty hard.
I mean,
You're
for
right.
multiple reasons.
Yeah, absolutely.
It looks like a little fun beat 'em up. You got that
Mhm.
East Asian cyborg fantasy twist. And I was telling, I was telling Rowdy that I think it's a Chinese studio because a lot of the dialogue in the trailer sounded Chinese.
said it sounded Chinese, even though the music itself sounded total J-pop, K-pop,
Yeah.
or whatever. But it did have that Chinese feel to it. Like just looking at the gameplay, which I thought looked pretty cool, and pretty solid. And I was like, okay, I'm intrigued.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely coming up. The Chinese, the gaming communities over there, or gaming communities, the Chinese like game
Developers.
companies are really coming up. Yeah, the developers, they're putting out more and more stuff that are reaching like the trending list over here. So that's
Right, like that
definitely
Wukong
saying
game?
something, yeah.
Genshin Impact.
And then
Mhm.
to see this,
Oh, yeah,
it
Genshin.
gives you that feel of Final Fantasy 15,
Right.
with just the terrain and being able to move around, and we're seeing the same sort of engine in Final Fantasy 7 remake. Like it's pretty exciting to be able to see these games get made into that sort of world and that environment.
I know, right?
I mean, it looks really good, and I do like the setting.
Mhm.
You
I
know,
love when you have a hard time distinguishing when a cutscene ends and the gameplay begins.
Mm-hmm.
that's just modern technology, man.
I mean,
Getting better.
I like the setting that they had in there. Like because I was actually really intrigued. I was like, what, you're fighting some kind of like space Cthulhu?
Yeah, very
That
H.P. Lovecraft.
weird thing. Yeah, and then like she just have some kind of like apocalyptic battle in space, and then she gets flung down to what looks like an apocalyptic, like a post-apocalyptic Earth, And she was in, from what I thought looked like Russia. What was that? There was like a
There's a bit of
some
Russian.
kind of building. Yeah, you know, it was like what? She's like going through different parts of the world. You know, like was it like some kind of calamity that happened, and they're showing all this kind of stuff that's going on. You know, I really want to see like what the world has to offer at least.
Yeah, it really reminds me of like what manga artists in the 90s were trying to achieve with a lot of the storylines with the like neo-apocalyptic feel with like an H.P. Lovecraft twist to it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and I
It looked really cool.
Yeah, I really like the monster designs they show off a little bit later in the trailer.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna bring up. Was like that was one of the main points was the monsters and just like the desolate looking areas and stuff. And you're having these guys coming out. It just like it has what would normally seem like a spooky feel, but you're playing as supposed like a badass character. So you're just fighting these dudes like like it's normal.
I feel like she's a cyborg though.
Probably
because I mean she's just
it
getting
has a very
flung.
Automata feel to it, right? And she's flying through space and she's not breathing, so.
I mean, this game actually kind of reminds me of a game that was on the PS2 that I mentioned it a few times with some other friends, Bujin Guy, where, it's kind of like the same concept. Dude came from fucking space. Yeah. Except he looks super like Korean, Chinese, Asian J-pop-ish with his crazy anime looking hair, but he dual wielded swords and he literally came flying down to space from like some comet or whatever, and the world, like I said, it looked like a desolate post-apocalyptic world, except it was in either like Japan or China, and you're fighting all of like these Asian-inspired looking monsters and stuff, and it really reminded me of that. It was like, man, I would love to see a game like that get remade, but this actually looks a lot like it. So I'd just like to see what the story's about, though, mostly.
Yeah. Seems like whatever it is, those creatures are inhabiting dead bodies, because we see a couple of times in the trailer, like that little octopus thing is crawling around and then crawls up on a dead body where its head should be and like takes over and it starts getting up and fighting.
It looked like it's probably
necromorphs.
Yeah, that or some weird mutated virus.
Right?
It looks fun. I'm actually really hyped for it.
Absolutely.
It's like super advanced Dead Space.
Yeah. Or like a Nier Automata feel to it with the environment.
Yeah.
Well,
but yes, Ghostwire.
Yeah, that looked really cool.
Yeah, I heard that game had a lot of like stuff behind the scenes that kind of like I thought it was supposed to release earlier this year.
Honestly, because that was one of the games that first got announced at the PS5, wasn't it?
Thought so. I thought it was supposed to be like a launch title, basically. But,
yeah.
I'm sure Google can actually tell us this if. Let's see, Ghost.
But it honestly, this trailer looked way more insightful than what was originally being released. Because like I said, it looked pretty bare bones. But I don't know, maybe because it didn't really show any storyline. It just showed like a few of the gameplay things on it. But
I think people weren't also really expecting an action-based type thing.
FPS.
A little more horror, suspense, and all that. And
that was kind of
the original vibe.
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of one of the arcs, like the Osaka arc in Gantz. Because I read the manga and the part where like all the aliens, which they transform themselves into looking like a lot of the yokai and mythical creatures of Japan, and they would go running rampant out in the city, and like during that arc they had to hunt them down. It's kind of looking a lot like that, except with your character with his main powers, and it's kind of giving me a little bit of a a Death Stranding feel to it with the character with the skull mask on.
Oh
yeah. Saying like how badass that mask is.
And I was just sitting there looking at it, I was like, oh, this story and stuff. I mean, it kind of reminds me of that, because I don't really know what's going on, but it looks, with it being very supernatural and whatnot, and I guess you're on a mission to, I guess that was your sister? Was it? I forgot that part.
Jinji Ito.
Yeah.
with some of the creatures, because like before it just seemed like there were shadow creatures all over the place. There was this mist taking over the city, and that was kind of what was converting them. But now we're seeing these like Jinji Ito, like BL finger boys, like super long and dangly.
All right. Uzumaki's.
Yeah. Now
Gil.
we're seeing all these like sweet ass powers that you're gonna get, and you're
That's
running
what I
in a
wanna see.
squad. It looks like it's gonna be multiplayer on top of that.
Is it? I didn't really catch that part.
I didn't catch that at all.
There's this video that I'm looking at right now. The gameplay trailer PS5 reveal event, and like there was 4 of you that were dressed up and on this tower, and they like drop down and start fighting those things.
I wonder if it might be like a Ghost of Tsushima type
would be
multiplayer.
You know what's funny about that? I actually had a thought similar to that while I was watching, like, oh shit, it's future Ghost of Tsushima Legends mode when you're fighting the Onis and all that.
Yeah.
Oni.
Oh, the curse of the future Oni Baba.
Sugbata. Yeah, let me.
But he's gotten too old and fat, so he's Suklard.
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 Dosho. Dosho.
Dojo. There you go. Yeah, this one seems like it gives a little bit more detail to what's actually going on in this game.
Because wasn't there somebody famous attached to this project?
I thought so.
Like a really famous Japanese developer.
Oh yeah, legendary director Shinji Makima. Oh, I'm not gonna.
Mikami.
Fuck that up.
Mikami.
Okay. Mikami. The name sounds familiar, but I mean,
I have no idea who that dude is.
Me neither.
let me do a quick.
I don't know if I've seen his videos or any of his movies before. So
well, he's originally a game designer. He started at Capcom, apparently.
Really?
He directed the first installment or the first Resident Evil game and Dino Crisis.
Oh, you know what? That's why it sounded familiar. Yes.
And he did God Hand.
And
Dino
God
Crisis,
Mhm.
Hand.
Resident Evil.
Yep.
Evil Within.
That's what I was about to say, that he did Evil Within because I just started it. I remember that's what originally got me into being excited about Evil Within.
Nemesis. Okay.
Yeah, but he was the executive producer on a lot of stuff too.
Oh shit. Okay. See, I knew that sounded familiar.
All right. Yeah, I see
Okay.
you. I see you, Shinji. Now get in the fucking robot.
God damn it, Shinji, get back in your cubicle and code.
Make this goddamn game.
It's been 3 years already.
Stop crying like a bitch, Shinji.
Oh shit.
It was me, Shinji. I shit your pants.
Speaking of shitting my pants,
Are you moving on to?
I got no segue, Mumbo. I was just going down the list, and the next one, probably y'all won't care, but it's a Tiny Tina's Wonderland.
I was actually gonna say, at least I was thinking about it when I was watching that video, that I know I'm not that big on Borderlands in general, but this actually looked very interesting because of its setting, and they're going for that whole like D&D like aesthetic with it. Because I even heard like at the very end, Tiny Tina even made that comment about get your character sheets out and all that, And I was like, okay, so it's supposed to look like that, and seeing the abilities and stuff you're doing, I'm like, yo, you know what? I actually want this. I want to play this. Like, if y'all were ever gonna pick it up,
I definitely am, because I really enjoyed the DLC in 2 that they kind of did also with the D&D.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it looks like they actually fleshed out more than just shooting and stuff. You have like a magic system and all these different attacks.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's not just like it's not just a big old rusty, rundown looking world, where everything's just cobbled together with like pieces of metal. Like it looks like a nice fantasy setting to it. And so, but with the aesthetic of Borderlands, I'm like, okay, I could really get behind this because this looks really fucking cool. Sitting there killing dragons and the skills and the magics and whatnot, the bow and arrow and stuff too. I thought that was really cool.
Mm-hmm. Now, I'm usually not a big Borderlands fan. Like, I feel like the whole game kind of got ruined for me because people were trying to, like, grind me through the storyline and didn't let me really enjoy it. And so, like, I feel like I'm a little bitter towards it. But
Yeah, it's
this looks
Borderlands.
interesting enough where like I would like to try it again with this specifically because
Same.
I am a huge fantasy fan. I do play D&D. I like it a lot, and this seems extremely interesting and different, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. That's just how I feel about it. It's
Yeah.
honestly, and if you get it, we both get it. Like, I'm totally down for starting a campaign from the beginning, and just
Hmm.
fucking going through. Because I mean, I also like to explore, and I don't want to be like rushed through the
Same.
storyline, Because I know like the end of the game, like it's all about looting. But if it's like a first time me going through the game, I would like to,
Experience
explore.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what Jake and I did when we picked up 3. Is that we weren't blazing through the story, but we were going through. We do all of the side quests because they got their own stuff.
Yeah. Because I know that's half of the thing. And after you beat the game a bunch of times, of course you want to just burn through and just start going straight to the looting because
Yeah,
a game
totally.
like that, usually what it's about is the looting.
Right. But also, you gotta have a reason why you get there in the first place, Like, even with Diablo and, like, other games like that, like, you play through the story, you kind of get a sense of what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
There's a few of our friends that are just like, fuck that story. Like, all I care about is the gameplay, and I'm like, I can't do this.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta have substance. I gotta have my lore whore time.
Mm-hmm.
I can give you some lore.
Oh,
Yep.
Daddy, give me all the lore.
Density.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey, you never know.
You know-
Future episode might be a whole Destiny lore episode.
Yeah.
I can help you with the first part, but not the most recent stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I think we're all in agreement that we're gonna probably pick up this game.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
definitely.
Yeah.
I'm
I know,
probably going to be taking my time through
I know.
it, but yeah,
Like-
absolutely.
I was watching the Twitch chat when it got, and everyone's just shitting on it because it's like, yeah, I understand Borderlands 3 story sucked, but man, this game looks fun.
But the good
Right?
thing is, like,
Glad I'm not ruined by it.
it's literally showing like this is her D&D world. So like the story could be anything she wants it to be, and it can be,
Yeah,
it
that's what
would
they
be
did.
Weird.
That's what they did for that one DLC. Is like certain things she would start saying and just go, "Oh wait, I changed my mind,"
Yeah,
and that was fun.
exactly. Like it's an interesting twist. Like even when movies do it, it's an interesting twist. Where like, oh yeah, and then I died that day. Wait a minute, I didn't die. It was this person that died.
Maybe we'll get a cameo in the live-action Borderlands movie
Ooh.
with fucking Kevin Hart as Roland.
I don't know what it is. I'm sorry.
He was in the first game. He was in the second game. Spoilers: the game's like 12 years old. Yeah, but he dies.
How dare you? How dare you?
But he's not a funny man. Like, he's the serious dude out of all of
Tell
them.
me Claptrap's still alive.
Not the voice actor.
Oh yeah, that's right. He died.
Oh no, not the clap.
Well, he didn't die, but I guess he wanted like more money for his role, and Gearbox and Randy was like, "No, I want that money," which technically did happen. I think Randy like gave himself a $3 million bonus or something when 3 came out.
Nice. I wish
Yeah.
I could just give myself a bonus. Like, you know what?
You know,
I deserve this.
honestly.
I'd fuck me so hard for a raise.
Ooh, it says here the music though in the game's gonna be by Bear McCready. He's the guy who did God of War or 2018 one.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I like that they had Baby Metal playing in the trailer. I was hoping for more of that.
it fits. It fits
It
Tina's
does.
whole fucking thing.
Absolutely.
I'm not familiar with that genre, but okay. I mean, like I said, I genuinely just, in general, I genuinely just love
Generally in
everything.
general.
Yes. I just enjoyed a lot of what they had to show in that game, in that trailer.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun. Like
Because,
Borderlands is definitely the game. It's a lot funner with friends.
Yeah.
and that was the thing, because when I was looking at it at first, I didn't even catch like the thing, like the name for it. But I was like, it seems like Borderlands, but it doesn't.
Right.
at the same
Because
time. It was
that's
so
how I
fantasy
felt.
based.
Whenever Alex said like, "Hey, there's a new Borderlands game came out," I was like, I'm good." And he was like, "No, like check out the trailer." And I finally watched it, and I was like, "Okay, yeah, I might. I'll definitely give this a chance then."
It's gonna be a romp.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be a romp. Forspoken, or Project
Mhm.
Althea, as it used to be called.
I didn't know it was a thing before then. I just saw like Square Enix. I'm like, what? Square Enix is actually doing another new type of game that's not, you know,
Fantasy.
Final Fantasy or somebody else's game that they're just, publishing.
I'm such a whore for Square Enix, though. I always have been. I hate it.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, aside from Final Fantasy stuff, I like my Final Fantasy games and whatnot. But like, they used to do so much back then that were
Right.
just different RPGs. Like when they were doing Chrono Trigger and what was it?
Parasite Eve.
Well, yeah, you had Parasite Eve.
You're so
What was
stuck on that.
I am.
What was it? The
Trials of Mana?
The Tales of Mana. Yeah.
Yeah, Tales of Mana.
Like they had so many different RPGs, and I just feel like a lot of that was either on the PS1. A few, like it's like they got fewer and fewer with the generations, and they stuck
have a
with.
ton of great titles, but the problem is like back then, like the gaming community was still pretty young, so they were like, "Hey, we have money. We're not really sure what to do with it. Like,
Yeah.
y'all just come up with stuff." And so we got all these
Exactly.
super cool titles, and you see it in all the gaming companies. Like we got all these cool titles that were super experimental. Some of the games were flops, some of them weren't, but like we don't have that anymore because gaming companies play it safe now, and they're
Mhm.
like, "What will bring us money?" Period.
Because it's all about branding now and like the name,
Absolutely.
Well, it's
Even
also
if it's gonna be a garbage game, it's because it's that name.
it's also playtime and stuff. I mean, that's what a lot of live or online
Right.
games are.
Yeah,
As long-
playtime.
I mean, it's the same deal with the new Halo. I mean, yeah, the multiplayer's free, but it's free because it's going to take up your time, and you need to grind, and that's how you retain players.
Right.
Which I totally do,
grind.
though.
We've been there with Destiny. We already know.
I'm still
But this
there.
game does have like a very Prince of Persia sort of vibe to it. It seems like.
Yeah, because I remember this. I think they showed this game off specifically because this. I want to say this is the new Unreal Engine 5.
Ooh.
I want to say that, or I'm thinking of something, but yeah, like the traversing in this looks cool as hell.
It does.
The faces get a little bit better because they look a little weird right now.
It's the Square Enix face.
I don't know. I kind of doubt it from what I'm seeing, because a lot of times they usually, especially when they're showing tech demos, it's always gonna be like, this is what you're expecting, and then it always gets dumbed down a little later. If anything, I don't think like any of the faces and all that are gonna change. They might do something with, I guess, maybe more physics or something later. I don't know.
Maybe they'll hide it in shadows better.
Who knows? Yeah, they might do something better with the graphics. But that didn't really seem to bother me much.
I mean, it's got that Square Enix like particle flares and everything. And I like that.
Yeah, looking at like their magic systems and all that, it looked like they were combining elements, and I'm like, man, I really hope that's like gonna be a thing now that kind of Genshin Impact did, because I really, really love that idea of combining elements and doing some really crazy stuff with it.
Well, it seems to be that she's gonna have just like a base power that maybe you can upgrade over time, but I don't know about mixing and matching.
Yeah, I mean, because it looked like, remember that they had that part where she like did this big old torrent of water and like launched these dudes up, and then she froze it.
Eyes,
Yeah, that's what it was making me wonder if she was doing that, and it was also like a little something with fire and all that, and I don't know if that was Earth or not, but yeah, I don't know, because that's all they're showing, and I know they're gonna have more to show later on.
It is coming to PC as well, so that might be.
Oh, really? It's not
Yeah.
gonna be just an exclusive.
But but I'm the only one here that doesn't have a PS5.
Yeah, but my PC is dookie compared to my PS5.
How you gonna get Tiny Tina? Oh, wait a minute. No. Yeah, how are you gonna get Tiny Tina's little Borderlands adventure then?
It's for PS4 as well.
Oh,
I'm
geez.
assuming it'll come to PC too. Otherwise, it looks pretty okay. I'll keep it in my to monitor list.
It's definitely a back pocket, like let's see where it goes sort of game. But I am like interested in the new engine for sure.
Yeah, don't quote me on that though.
Yeah, I'm kind of I'm curious what they're doing with the Final Fantasy franchise too, because this last one that they released the demo for with the crystals seemed kind of weird.
Oh, that was just like its own other thing. You're talking about like the remake of the first one with the Origins or whatever it was called.
I think so.
Yeah, that was one that actually that was a project that I had no idea was even coming out, you know, and it plays more like of an action RPG, but I mean, you have seen the one for 16 though, right?
Yeah.
That's the one I'm thinking about.
Absolutely,
that I really want.
yeah.
Like I do want to
It's
play
supposed to be
Origins for
dark.
16.
Yeah. It's supposed
No.
to be dark, very medieval-ish, and like a lot.
That's what I really like, and it looks like it's, you know, I mean, I'm kind of hoping they have it like this. Just a little personal opinion, because it's giving me a bit of a classic vibe in terms of, remember like the original, like the Dragon Warrior, when it was called Dragon Warrior before they, you know, changed it to Dragon Quest, but it was like a solo man mission, you know, like you were like the you know, enchanted, I guess, hero of legend.
You're the chosen warrior.
Yeah, you know. Yeah, and you're going solo and you're just like doing all this stuff, but you know, you can't meet like other people along the way. But I kind of hope that this time it's like gonna be a, you know, a single man kind of thing, and like he just gets all these abilities and stuff, you know, just from
get in there
the
and it's
action.
like a world like Berserk and
I mean, we'll see. I hope it's open world. It looked kind of open world-ish though, but
I think that's what they've said. It's going to be a little more open world-ish.
Yeah, because I mean, 15. I felt like 15 just wasn't enough.
They said it was open world, but you felt very on the rails for a like. If you're on the road, you had to go to a certain point where it dipped down, where you could go into the forest and shit. You know,
like literally parts of the map were just like blatantly blocked off. Like you can't just go over here just because.
Well, it was just wide for no reason too. Like
and there was nothing
for fucking nothing.
Yeah, there was nothing.
Yeah, it really felt like the team. It was probably a new team that put it all together, but they had never really done open world, or at least on that generation.
Yeah, at that sort of scale.
And I really, really, really wanted to like 15. Like I don't like hate it, but
I like parts of it.
I felt like it could have been much more though, and like especially with the combat. I mean, you legitimately could just hold circle to attack the entire time, and then just press, you know, triangle or square when needed. But it just, you know, and a lot of the combat just seemed kind of frustrating on it too, because even though it tried being super like action based, like really it was just you trying to get backstabs so that you'll get the automatic, you know, team up sequences, and you know, it's like doing this. It got really boring like really quick.
Yeah.
You know, and just
backstab, throw your sword, teleport, repeat.
You know, I feel like the game itself would have been so much better, in my opinion, if they just kept it as like a classic turn-based RPG, made it like, you know, like Final Fantasy 7, 10, hell, 8, ATB system. You know, I would have preferred it being like that.
I hated that you had to wait for the cinematic summoning moment. You couldn't just be like, "Hey, I've saved up enough SP or, you know, MP."
Right, yeah. And they were under conditions. You couldn't even summon, you know, free willy. You had to go through certain conditions, and most of the times you can actually summon something was Ramas, because from what I believe, you had to be in combat for a certain amount of time. The other conditions were almost impossible. I'm like, dude, these fights don't even last long enough for me to be able to do half of the shit you want me to do to summon this thing. Like,
Absolutely.
I can't see all the cool stuff, you know? So I was, it was very frustrating and disappointing to play. Plus, when I was playing on a PS4 at the time, you know, it was frame locked, and it was very, like I really felt like that game had no business being on the PS4, the original PS4 with that
even when
frame
it
lock.
first came out, it wasn't even fucking done.
It wasn't done,
Nope.
yeah, and it felt unfinished. You know,
Oh,
like
I mean, I kept playing it until I think it was like the second major update before they did all the DLCs.
yeah, and I beat it by that point, but I felt very unsatisfied and very frustrated because again, like in itself, the lock frame rate had a very unresponsive controls with me when I was playing it. That's how I felt. It just felt very unresponsive, and like the input lag was just terrible. Like I couldn't even get whenever you ever get those like dodging sequences, like hold square to dodge or block. Whenever those would pop up, it would never work because the input lag was terrible on it. I mean, they did fix the issue when the game came out with the pro version, or like if you got on PC with like a better frame rate. But I mean, that's kind of lame being stuck behind the hardware's, limited capabilities.
I like how we went off.
We kind of. I was about to say, but go on. Yeah, right. But I hope a lot of that stuff that they failed with
4 years ago.
It was like I hope all that is get addressed in issue. All those issues get addressed and fixed in 16. But
absolutely,
going back to Forspoken.
Yes,
It looks good.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
That's all I can really say.
I hope.
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
When it comes out.
I just hope that with its open world, and again, it looks like it's very action RPG based. That they don't kind of go down some of the, I guess, down the line with how they messed up with some of that stuff on 15. That's really where this all came from. Was I don't know. They tried doing it before, and I felt like it was a big flop.
Yeah,
but this looks pretty good. Looks promising. I like the character too.
Yeah, she's cute.
She is, definitely. Without being overly sexualized,
Yeah. Right.
Thank you, Square.
I hate that Square always has to throw in like a romantic story of like, hey, this is this person's lover and they got kidnapped and you gotta go find them. Or, one day you'll be together again once you unpetrify this person.
Like, yo, it ain't my boyfriend. Why do I care?
I don't want to have a love story in every fucking Square Enix game that I ever play,
Plot twist, she fucks the cat.
Not the cat.
It was all a bad dream. I had to have Alan wake me up.
Nice.
Speaking of with that Alan Wake, the Alan Wake. I was actually playing it last year, streaming it for Phil, my friend. And it is. It had a couple of issues on the with the PC remake. Well, not the remake, but on the PC version, I had some glitchy issues and all that. But I mean, I would love to pick it back up, mostly because I want to know what the fuck's going on. I'm still kind of confused about just like all of a sudden shit's happening, and I know the game had a twist.
It feels a little dated, whenever I went and replayed it. So like, I'm hoping that they kind of change up the engine a little bit and give us more story to it.
It doesn't look like it's too much of a remaster. Like the graphics still look, what's the word?
Relatively the same, or
I feel like if you can run it on 4K at least now, it's probably what it's gonna look like.
And that's the funny thing about it is that again, I was kind of running it on 4K on the version that we have now. Like I didn't really see much of a difference in it, so that's why I was like, it was pretty cool seeing it because I was like, wait, Alan Wake, what? But at first I thought it was gonna be like a sequel or something, or like something extra or whatever. But and I saw it was a remake. It's like, okay, well, I mean, from when I was looking at the gameplay and all that, like it all still kind of looked the same as when I was playing on PC because I was running it on 4K with the 60 frames. And
October 6th comes out.
Yeah, so I don't know.
I might pick it up.
It's still good though. It was still a good game for what I was playing.
Yeah, I never played it originally, so I'll probably pick it up. Also, apparently, they're making a TV show of this.
Alan Wake?
Yeah.
Really?
Huh. I heard rumor back when it first came out that they wanted to do more stuff with it. But I think after what was it, like the American DLC or whatever it was called, it didn't do as well as they liked, so they just like kind of put a lot of that on hold. It's surprising that they're coming back to it this this far into the future, you know?
Mm-hmm.
There's probably enough demand for it. I don't know who's
I guess
demanding
so.
it.
I don't know. I actually completely had forgotten about the game, to be honest. So I was really surprised when I saw it.
Yeah. I'm surprised they, like I said, I'm surprised they went back to it. It's pretty shocking.
But what's not surprising is that GTA and GTA Online getting some other update.
Just the
I just-
PS5 release for it. I was like, oh
Yeah.
yes, GTA 5 becoming the new Skyrim.
I'm so sick of that. I'm so sick of like, let's take this 10-year-old game and keep releasing it and keep making money off of it. Like,
Because that's the exact reason. As you were about to say, I'm pretty sure.
yeah,
But that is the exact reason.
yeah,
It makes
they
money.
keep getting money off of it, so they keep
Yep.
doing it. And of course, and the thing is, there's not even like any major changes. Like with
Nope.
Skyrim, they could have at least made it multiplayer by now, but they're like, you know what? Fuck you. You're gonna buy it anyway.
Fuck you, you're gonna go play Fallout instead.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, you like Fallout? Let's give you a multiplayer one. That
Like,
fucking
apparently-
blows.
Apparently, they added new missions and stuff to it. And they did a little bit of expansion. At
But
least, as of what I saw, was wrong.
Yeah, but it looks exactly like the current PC one right now.
Yeah, but see, there you go. Because I had GTA 5 on PS4 before, and it does run like dog shit. Like, it takes forever to load up, and just like, oh man. And playing on
Yeah.
PC, it does run a lot better. But even still, with like it's, I guess, considered current gen, like, you know, graphics and engine, you know, it probably would still run better on my PS5 than it does on my PC at this point. Because again, I got an i5,
Mm.
an Intel processor, you know, i5, and I got a GTX 1060, not even a Ti. So you know,
Well,
my shit's pretty dated at this point.
come here, bud.
Who the
You know, it's funny. I didn't even hear him through your mic, but I heard him from the other room.
Oh, dude, he was fucking squalling.
Dude, I heard him this morning. He was like, dude, shut the fuck up, dude. I'm about to wake up.
Oh yeah.
He knows. He knows when I'm about to wake up. I swear he knows when I'm about to wake up. 'Cause that's when he starts screaming.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do to your pussy.
But no, I feel kind of selfish in this because like I get that like PC gaming still isn't the like go-to just yet. Like your modern home, not everyone's gonna have one, but they might have a console. And so I feel
Mhm.
kind of selfish in saying that they shouldn't re-release those games. But at the same time, like once you port it to the PC, like I feel like, all right, we're good. Like stop there, we're fine. We don't need any more ports. We don't need any more. You know, if you want to remaster it, that's a different story. But like fuck.
Yeah.
All they're doing is literally a re-release. It's not even a remaster.
It's
or
fanboys.
anything.
It's
Yeah.
fanboys though,
It's
because
gonna make money.
yeah, you could always watch those older Bethesda conferences they had at E3, and like people would lose their. I mean, people are losing their shit for Elder Scrolls Online. I'm like, nobody
Yeah.
talks about Elder Scrolls Online.
Just
Right.
their dedicated fan base, you know. And you know, but the thing is though, they make it so convincing sometimes that even I want to try. Like, I mean, it can't be that bad, right? Like, it's obviously still going. Like, people are still playing it, so I wanted to see what it's about. But I mean, in the end of the day, though, I already got some MMOs under my belt, and it, you know, it's once you played one, you honestly played them all. You're just looking for your flavor. That's it.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Well-
I've got buddies that are still trying to get me to play WoW. That I'm not a WoW fan at all. Especially
Yeah.
that the company is being a bunch of fucking frat boy pricks.
Yeah, you know, they really are being some massive dickheads right now.
Well, if you want a good single player game, it's the new Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy one coming out, which
Oh, I forgot to watch that one.
Mm,
Actually, I was
that
gonna.
is. Oh,
It's in the
you should
chat.
watch it right now. Yeah.
yeah,
I'll rewatch it with you right now.
All right, hold on, yeah, yeah.
Because
Let me pull it
that
up.
is my sort of flavor.
so yeah,
I
like
love it.
this is what that Avengers game should have been.
Should have, yes, because we were talking about this earlier. Like, I'm not usually a big like superhero movie
All right, I'm playing
type
it right now.
game person, but like they did this game right. I was super skeptical on it until I saw the trailer, and after that, I was like, yeah, they put in the time, they put in the care, and they realized what Avengers did wrong and made those changes.
Well, I mean, it was also developed by Square Enix and what's that game studio? Crystal Dynamics.
Yeah.
And they went through the monetary route, which just but this one, like, I think from what I've been reading, it's purely single player story based, which is just give me some weird Marvel shit in space.
Absolutely.
And I think
like Gamora, hot as fuck. Oh.
yeah. But I think this game will do good because, like the movie as well, I think the small ensemble really works.
Yeah,
I don't think they're making
absolutely.
it too goofy like the movies. Like Drax in this is very serious instead of
Yeah, comic
I'm
relief.
kind of
like
a-
every.
yeah.
It's a problem when you have every character a comic relief, and it's like, okay, we fucking get it. You don't want things to be that sad.
I just want to explore, man. Like, give me a good space game to explore. And this might hit up that alley.
Yeah.
Combat looks, I mean, it just looks all right, but if the story is engaging, man, I can forgive it.
The overall aesthetics of everything, I fucking love. Like their outfits, their armor, the environment, the settings. It's just like, I want this. Good soup. Like,
Yeah,
I need it.
I'm glad they didn't go down the Avengers route where we kind of have characters that look a little like the actual actors, but
Yeah,
none of the voice.
Uncanny Valley.
Maybe except for Steve, because that one was a little odd.
Yeah.
That's actually
Weird.
look pretty cool.
It's like, here's generic brand, but I don't want generic brand. Well, you don't have a choice.
Because I think they showed this off during E3 this year, and like I kind of instantly liked it. Everyone in chat was shitting on it and all this. I'm like, this looks way better than the Avengers game.
Yeah. I don't know why you would shit on that. It looks like a
Actually,
good game.
Don't even remember the Avengers game now that I think about it.
Dude,
Yeah,
I just know so many people that played it and like was like,
It
why?
came and went.
Yeah.
Because once you beat the main story, it's just your typical live act or on live game where it's just repeated grinding if you want cosmetics and shit. I think they're getting another DLC soon, Wakanda, whatnot, but I'm kind of just like, no one's playing it.
Who cares?
Yeah,
It's like a goldfish you get from the fair. It's dead before you even get home and get to play with it.
it's another thing I have to be responsible for.
Yeah, buried it in the backyard. Let's move on. Get Timmy a new toy and let's not ever talk about it again.
How many goldfish have you buried?
I generally flush them.
I don't know. It comes out in a month, so I might pick it up.
I shouldn't be broke by then.
Yeah, I've still got
Hopefully.
to.
Me too.
I've still got to pre-order so many other games.
As long as my crippling, manga addiction doesn't get to me first.
You and me both. You and me both.
Just need a little hit. Just need a couple to get me through the week.
But sometimes it just puts me in a death loop, and I just can't escape.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna say I actually wasn't very impressed with it at first, but I'm a little more interested in it now. I mean, I guess given the story and whatnot.
Yeah, I guess I was under the wrong
That's
impression at first. I thought it was like a multiplayer game, and I think it might have it. But yeah, I didn't
know anything about it. Deathloop.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't really have much in it. It just showed like some of the shooting and whatnot. And I'm like, this just looks like another shooter. But, like they were just, I don't know, trying to make it like unique or something. I don't know. For some reason, it kind of reminded me of BioShock a little bit. It's just like,
Yeah.
It's got a little
don't know
bit
how
aesthetic.
yeah. But looking at the actual story and gameplay and stuff to go with it, and I was like, okay, I'm a little more interested in it now because I know something like with me is I like to feel pretty immersed in my games and stuff. You
Mhm.
know, like I want to forget that I live in this existence when I'm playing some of my games on here.
What is
So you
my
know,
shitty fucking life?
right? I want to forget that I was at work and I just want to be here. And, you know, and it was and I'm looking for some stuff like that to really put me out of it. So when I saw like the story for it, I'm like, okay, this don't look too bad all of a sudden, you know.
Yeah, I like the idea that you got to kill a certain amount of people. I'm watching the trailer right now, and one of the people is a dog.
Yeah, right.
How fucking dare them?
Yeah, but I
Yeah,
really want to know how the time loop stuff works. He says at the end of the day, and
Yeah.
yeah, because
what
it's
I've
like Groundhog Day is what I'm saying. Yeah.
from what I've seen, it feels like maybe if you die, you actually restart at certain points, or because I don't think they'd make you restart like the entire day again. But who knows?
God. I remember that with Majora's Mask, and that was rough. As a kid, at least.
It's not that bad right now. No, but I mean, the game comes out next week as of recording this.
Yeah.
Nice. Hopefully, we'll have the recording out before then.
Oh, yeah, I can get it out. Stop giving away behind the scenes shit.
Oops.
No, but it looks good. I'll probably...
It reminds me kind of Remnant of Ashes or whatever it's called.
Oh,
That game
Remnant?
we were playing.
Yeah. I get, Bioshock and that one game, We Happy Few.
Oh, that was supposed to be a big thing and then never was, and then was quietly released and died like a goldfish from a carnival.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I think this is only PS5 exclusive, though, for now. I could be wrong.
I don't know if I'll pick that up. Like, that's definitely one of those games where I'm gonna have
console
to
exclusive.
need to see people like play it and then like decide like, oh yeah, maybe I'll get that.
It's definitely a game I'd wait to get a little bit of a sale on instead of paying full price.
Absolutely. Unless like it comes out and like everybody's just raving about it, then I'll get it. But like outside of that, that's probably one of those games where I'm just like, oh, that's cool, and then just never play it. If I'm being honest.
Are you, though?
I try to be.
Well, next on our list is Tachia, I think is how you say it.
Chia. Oh, that music game?
It's not a music game.
It's not?
Did you not watch the trailer?
Vaguely. I like.
I
watched a little bit.
I saw. I watched some of it. Like,
nah.
Well, they lost me at Sandbox for starters. Like, it just.
I only bring it up because it was in the showcase. It does look. It seems like you can jump into like different animals and do stuff. Somebody, somebody in the Twitch chat was like, "Oh, this is Mario Odyssey."
Right.
Except you can sit there, jump in a sea turtle, and go fuck that other sea turtle. You know?
It looks very cute. It looks like an interesting game. It's not for me per se, but
No.
like I can definitely see,
it has an audience. It does have an audience.
And I'm not gonna shit on it because it's not my type of game. Because it does look like a good game. Like, it's not something.
Yeah, it
that
just looks
I
like a
would probably
nice
play.
little chill game.
Yeah, like I like the look of when you're out in the forest with the flashlight at night. Like that looks really cool. And when you're playing around in the sea, but outside of that, I mean, I'm just not looking for a Moana game.
I'll put it on the back burner.
Yeah, that's for somebody else's podcast who really wants to reflect on this game.
Yeah.
I mean,
I definitely know at least 5 people that would buy this game.
Oh, I do too. I probably know who they are.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the other back burner game probably in this whole one is that Blood Hunt one, that spin-off to Vampire.
I am gonna definitely sign up and play that because fun fact for anybody who doesn't know, Vampire the Masquerade is originally from the tabletop game World of Darkness.
Yeah.
It's a full on, yeah. And I always wanted to play it, because I never played D&D or anything. But like I said, it gets a lot of its lore and stuff from the World of Darkness. And I did play the original Vampire the Masquerade. Yeah, as janky as it was, it still was quite charming.
Yeah,
it was charming. Yeah, I beat it a few times, and I liked it. I always play as a Tremere.
Nosferatu.
See, I want to do a Nosferatu at some point, and I'm pretty sure since this is a battle royale type looking game or whatever, and it has like I did like seeing some of the vampire clans in there.
Oh, so it's a battle royale game? It's
That's what
not
it
like
looks like.
Yeah, it's a multiplayer battle royale type game. And so, like I said, you have like your different clan, vampire clan types, and you guys get together. It looks like it's team player and all that stuff. I mean, because the game, when is the second game or Vampire the Masquerade 2?
I think it's been delayed.
It has been, yeah. I was really excited for it because I wanted to get it this year, but it's been delayed for next year.
I remember they talked about it, but like I think I'm more excited for the Vampire Masquerade game than I am the battle royale Blood Hunt.
Definitely.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, I feel like this though is probably a please forgive me for any Resident Evil fans, a better take on Reverse than what Resident Evil and Capcom's trying to do.
That's a fair assessment.
Yeah.
This actually looks a little more interesting because I mean, y'all even saw me playing Reverse, and I think a lot of it is because people really want they really want an Outbreak style type game, and we're just not going to get that. But that's for another. I don't want to
another podcast.
Start us. Yeah, I don't want to start us on another tangent on that.
Well, we'll get the lore masters of the Blexens and the Keatingmans.
Yeah, later on for that.
Play that I can send you to put over the top.
Yeah.
I need to release that still. I still haven't edited those videos.
Anyway. But yeah, they had a thing on the trailer where you can sign up for it, and so anybody who wants to join me on that, because I definitely want to sign up. You're more than welcome. Look for Blexin, BLEXIN.
I got to get me a PS5 first, Captain.
I mean, there's that too, but I told you I can help you get one. I've already. I helped out a few of the homies and get one, so
That's true. Then I can play my brand new driving simulator on it.
He would just have to not buy manga for a month.
Be like, hey, fucking Gran Turismo, that's my shit. Gran Turismo, because that was on there. I know, like, if no one's not so much of a racing fan, whatever. Hey, I'm excited for it because they're bringing back the career modes and all that from what it looks like. I could be wrong. But they actually have like a single player mode going on. And I grew up with this game, with these kind of games with my cousins, and that's just for anybody who's fans of the racing.
I would play it if like it wasn't a full price game. It's just I'm not so much of a racing fan that I can sit there and play, even 12 hours of it. Like I could probably put in 4. And then I'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm good. Like, I'm done with this.
See, and that's the thing, because the game, like, so with the other ones that came out before, like, the one on the PS4 and all that, they really shit their pants on that one because they took away one of the things that made the game, like, make you sink so many hours into it. And that was, like, its career mode because, like, it's... Like the gameplay itself, how do you make a storyline out of this stuff? You don't, because it's racing games. But
well, back in the day when we had like Need for Speed and
yeah, you had those.
Even my car.
Yeah, but like the games before, it had like the licensed modes stuff and the trials, where you had to sit there and learn and do like the racing trials and all that, and try and get all do all this stuff so that way you can get like your license, your quote unquote right to do the higher level races and get all the cool stuff with all the cool cars and whatnot. And that's basically was, like the game had like a progression system in it. And they did away with that in the PS4 version and even part of like the PS3 one as well, by taking all that out and trying to turn like normal ass players who play the game a whole lot more than your average player
Mhm.
and tried doing like this really weird online professional racing mode, and like
Yeah.
actually tried getting people to be like professional racers and stuff with it, and it was only an online mode where you're playing with other people. And I'm like, what about the shit that we all wanted to do, man? I wanted to do my I wanted to get my licenses again, to to start work that progression up so I can get like the F1 Formula cars and all that. I mean, it was just that was the kind of stuff I was really looking for. I was really like, I got really good at it, and I had a few friends who actually liked to play with me, and a lot of it was like, hey man, like, check out my car and all that. Like, well, not to mention the fact that that studio was always like on top of their shit when it came to the graphics of the game, because every time Gran Turismo come out, you're like, man. I mean, it is, to be fair, just cars, but they're the best damn looking cars for its generations and stuff at the time when it came out, even for PlayStation.
It still looks good. I'll say
I
that.
mean, I'm saying, like, and I'm really excited. Like I said, to play it. It's just, maybe I can hook up with some of those old friends that
Mhm.
used to play it all the time.
I
But
think Harvey plays. If you want to
oh,
hook up with Harvey,
yeah, absolutely. And I
I
was like,
see
I'm
him like
always
on his
looking for
stream
stuff
every
on
once in a
that.
while.
Yeah, it's just because again, that was also a really good bonding game with some other friends who were really into it. Because again, we really liked playing racing games. Like I was always playing like Crash Team Racing and stuff like that. So
Mhm.
yeah,
Nice.
No, it's not really much of a game, but I threw in the Wolverine teaser.
I mean, it was made by Insomniac,
And it's
and
a
that for me
Wolverine
speaks
game.
right. I'm like, okay, so well, first of all, I'm pretty sure they're gonna have some kind of like Ratchet and Clank cameo in there or something. Something you're gonna see like in the background. I'm expecting to see something, but Insomniac has always been known for like having their really cool um like just like abilities and just stuff that they have in general. So I'm really excited to see what creativity that they're going to throw at us with the game itself. I mean, because it's just Wolverine,
Mhm.
but with also that being said, and Marvel and all that, they're going to be throwing in other people. It ain't going to just be Wolverine in there. So
Right. My thing is, how do you handle Wolverine? Because like his powers is, healing. So like, how do you die necessarily in levels whenever your healing is so rapid?
I mean, just like they do with any other video game with characters who are supposed to be quote unquote invincible. I mean, remember the Hulk games? They're still gonna have a way to die and all that, or they're just gonna have a health bar. There's a lot of video game characters and stuff. It was like, well, that normally shouldn't have killed you, but it killed them anyways, just because.
Right.
You know, so that one there might be just a little. Don't think too hard about it because it's a
Right.
video game
Suspension
after
of
all.
disbelief. Yeah.
Yeah,
It'll be interesting. I'm curious about their gameplay and what
me
direction
too.
they're gonna go with it.
Wolverine, but by Platinum. How about that? Platinum
That'd
Games
be rad
fucking.
as hell, man. A
Dude,
platinum
I'm
Wolverine
telling
game.
you can
That would
start
be
seeing all that
cool.
crazy, just like the crazy quick time events and shit to do. I mean, everything that Platinum touches and all that. They like what was that that Transformers game? I remember because Mike told me about it, or he actually showed me that Transformers game made by Platinum, and it was actually pretty fucking solid. I'm like, yo, what's up with this game? Why is it so fun? And of course, you got Metal Gear Rising and whatnot, the Beautiful Joe series.
That will never come back, man.
Nope.
Yeah,
I'm surprised that series has never gotten any type of re-release.
right. But I mean, anyways, going back to Insomniac though, because whenever I think Wolverine, I kind of think of like hack and slash. I mean, because it goes hand in hand with Wolverine.
Absolutely.
But for some reason, I keep thinking about like Sucker Punch as well. So I'm thinking Infamous, but
You know what
I
you
don't
could
know.
always do? You can always do that stupid like kind of the Resident Evil 4 feel where you're doing escort missions and like when your escort dies or your person dies that you're escorting, like that's how they end the level. Like how many
I
times have
mean,
we
they
all
could
fucking
add
died
that,
when fucking Ashley like tripped and fell on her ass?
right?
Bumped her
But-
little noggin. Oh.
Whenever developers, I'm pretty sure developers know at this point that escort levels are just the absolute fucking worst.
We're gonna make a whole game out of it.
Yeah, the whole game is the escort, you know, like,
Yeah.
which kind of is put me on the fence with actually playing Ico, because I have Ico right now on PS4, you know, but on my PS5. But I'm gonna play it eventually. I have it installed and ready to go.
I need to replay it. It's been so long.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
definitely a story and aesthetics sort of game.
Yeah.
Not so much of the mechanics, I feel like. Just kind of like how, was it Colossal? Or Shadow of Colossus? Like,
Yeah.
that's more of a story and aesthetics base than it is mechanical, you know?
I'm really kind of hoping that since they're making an X-Men character, we might start to see like X-Men in the actual MCU.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like when that's what I was trying to like get at earlier, is who are all gonna start showing up in these games. Because look at
about is Gambit. Like, just give me Gambit. Give me a good Gambit too.
Hey, but you know it's good. Like this is good. This is really good though. Like start nagging people for this shit. Like, yo, maybe people just forgot about Gambit. You know, like we need more of this because.
Oh, I never forget about Gambit.
all right.
If you bring him back,
right? Hey, who knows though? He might make an appearance because all we saw in that trailer. Or for anybody who hasn't seen it yet, and should I spoil? Whatever, you know, that's what we're here about. But we just saw the fucking claws. That's all we saw. But it was funny because I also sat there and thought, like, man, in my experience, every time I seen Wolverine, it always started off with this dude in the bar.
Yeah,
like,
ever since the first movie did it, it's just a trend now.
It's just him in the bar now, and like when the first thing I thought of was Ultimate Spider-Man on PS2. Whenever you're playing through Venom's storyline, and the first time you're playing as him, you go into a bar and you're fighting Wolverine in that one, you know? Then it just made me wonder, are they going to start combining the universes again? You know, I mean, because I know the video games and the copyright stuff, the ownership's all different now and whatnot. But I mean,
well, they have
in that game, they had you were Wolverine, you're Venom, and you were fighting Wolverine and all that. You know, and now you have Wolverine in the bar again with his claws and all that, and I'm expecting to see some other MCU characters, you know, show up in this game at least. I mean, they kind of have to. I feel like.
I mean, maybe Venom can show up because they also showed Spider-Man 2 little teaser.
My thing, yeah, exactly. Which I thought was pretty weird when they like that can't be Eddie talking in that trailer.
I think it's Harry Osborn.
With that accent, though?
It might be.
That's what I'm thinking.
I'm reading
with that
comments.
Accent, though.
I'm just now watching it.
Yeah, that was the thing that was getting me, though, was that accent. I'm like, that's definitely not a New York accent at all. And I don't remember Harry Osborn ever having that kind of an accent either, but, you know.
Oh, maybe that was Craven. I'm reading comments saying it might be Craven.
Right, and that's what I'm saying, because it might not even actually be Eddie Brock who's talking as Venom. It's just, you know, Venom chiming in, which, you know, they always do that in trailers. They give you the little teaser, and then all of a sudden they start exploding with again, what I'm hoping to have a lot of characters pop in. Because I was hearing, like I said, a lot of rumors and stuff with the symbiotes. Like, apparently there was a run-in, at least in one of the comic arcs, there was a run-in with Miles and Carnage. You know, Miles ended up getting his own symbiote suit at some point, you know, and that's one thing I'm really excited for. I've been kind of wanting to dive back into the Maximum Carnage series, the Separation Anxiety, because that's what I'm really wanting. I want to see the symbiotes come back into the Spider-Man universe, and you know, seeing with all the other villains and stuff. I want to see a lot of these old villains come back instead of everything just kind of like being surrounded by the movies.
I wonder if it is Craven talking. That's kind of a subtle way to introduce people to him, because I know they're making. I think they're making like a Craven. I don't know. They're making like a movie where Craven's going to be in it. I don't know if it's going to be a part of Sony's little whatever the hell Spider-Man thing is.
I don't know. But yeah, that's definitely something where.
Do you think that they're going to end up killing off Spider-Man in this one? since Miles is around? Because that's what I
I
was worried
doubt
about with
it.
the last one. When
I don't
I
know
don't
because
know.
Miles becomes Spider-Man after Peter originally died, or in like the
Right.
initial run. In this, they're both together.
Right.
Right, and the thing is that especially when it comes to any of the MCUs and a lot of these characters, a lot of times a lot of these stories aren't necessarily concrete, like they're only canon to
Right.
their universe. So,
Right.
just like with the Spider-Verse and all that, like Peter died in that Spider-Verse with that Miles Morales, but there's a different Peter Parker and everything that. So, I don't think they're going to be killing off Peter Parker. If they do, it'd be a really big surprise. But it looks like it's a main story thing that you're going to have both characters you're going to be playing as Miles and Peter.
Yeah.
That's what it's called,
And who
Spider-Man
knows?
2.
And who knows? Probably not going to happen. But if I can play as Venom, I'll be so happy, and I'd be content. Be very content.
I really want to get the black Spider-Man suit, man.
Oh yeah, definitely.
DLC later down the line.
If it's not already going to be part of the game, who knows?
I hope so. I really hope so.
Because I was really surprised when it wasn't a thing in the other game.
Same. That's just
The original.
such a classic thing.
It is.
I feel like everyone's gonna do it, and yet so far, like even the MCU hasn't touched on it yet, which is really surprising.
Which is wild because they even brought back some of the more obscure ones, like the bombastic Spider-Man with the bag over his head.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen that one since appear in a video game since the Spider-Man back on PS1.
Yeah, in
the cheat codes
1000 or whatever it was.
Yeah, it was the bombastic Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But they brought it in as no, yeah, you're right. If you're talking about the year, it was on PlayStation, early 2000. Yeah, Spider-Man 1 and 2, the PS1, and you needed cheats or whatever to unlock it. But yeah, it's pretty crazy how they even brought that in. So the fact they didn't have the symbiote suit. Well, then again, I don't know. Again, with that really weird copyright thing going on between Sony and Disney right now with Spider-Man and symbiotes. It's weird.
Well, because a lot of people are thinking that this last Spider-Man movie is going to be the last one in the MCU for a good while, and they're going to actually start making their own movies with Spider-Man again for Sony.
Which is the one with Tobey Maguire and all that, right?
No. I think
no.
Either they'd have to recast Tom Holland, or they actually keep Tom Holland.
Yeah, who knows?
We'll find out in December.
Yeah, that's No Way Home or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
It looks good.
I mean, they even gave him the Doc Ock spider leg things like they did in the game. Like they showed that in the game, that they're doing it in the movie.
Well, I mean, they're also bringing back Alfred Molina and Jamie Foxx as two actors, but they're also kind of introducing the what's the little villain group? The Sinister Six.
Yeah.
Because parts in the trailer, you see sand and everything. People are saying one scene showed the Lizard Man. Who knows? It's not that far along though, so. But now we get to my favorite game they showed off. God of War.
Or
Ragnarok.
Right.
I love how Atreus, to start off, Atreus is getting that Sora from Kingdom Hearts vibe going since he's gotten older. Like, how many years has it been since the first?
It's either got to be a couple of years at least.
I mean, because that, especially if that's the same voice actor.
I think it
older.
is.
Yeah, he got older, so naturally his voice is gonna start deepening if they got him right when he was hitting puberty and all that. Right. So that's what I was sitting there thinking, oh yeah, he totally got that Sora thing going on. Well, now he's sounding all older, but now they got him. You saw, what was that? He bringing in the body of a deer or some shit like that. And I was like, oh, look at the trays looking all grown now.
Up on his shoulder. Yeah.
Right?
What's
looking
really
looking like Kratos.
What's really funny though, when the showcase started, they did their little live action intro thing, oh, play lives on.
Right.
And it was like a metaphorical game of chess. But in one of the places they shot at, there's a giant picture of Kratos and Atreyu wearing these outfits in the trailer. So I guess it was like, oh shit, we're going God of War today. No, but I'm beyond hyped for this because I fucking love that first game. I spent so long fighting those fucking Valkyries.
I need to actually go back
I never
and play
finished
it
them.
myself. I watched Kilgore play the majority of the game, and it seemed like something I would enjoy, but
You
for
would.
some reason I was just like, I'm satisfied watching someone else. And I don't know why. I'm usually not like that at all.
You should really just play through the game yourself.
It is really nice. I didn't finish all the getting all the Valkyries yet though.
Yeah, I mean like, that's just bonus stuff.
I want to get it, but I'm on New Game Plus currently with mine. Actually playing it with the pro version of it. And I was like, oh my god. So when I first played it, it was originally on like the original PS4
Yeah.
version of it where it was locked. Yeah, 1080p. I'm playing it in 4K now with the 60 frames. I'm like,
It
oh
looks
my god.
yeah,
this-
it's incredible, dude.
holy shit.
I'm just so happy. I mean, it sucks that this isn't going to be a sequel or not a sequel, a trilogy
Yeah.
like a lot of people thought. And
Yeah.
Corey Barlog is actually not directing this one apparently. So we'll see how different it is, but it looks so good. I love that.
Can I say that girl at the very end? Was that a Japanese? Like, remember how they showed like during one of the other cutscenes in the God of War, the other God of War, the first one?
Yeah,
There
different
was
places.
Other worlds,
Yeah.
you know, Japanese and Egyptian mythology was there. So that girl, like, they even kind of like the music they're playing, it kind of gave off an Asian feel. So are they starting to throw in other mythologies now, or like what's up with that? Because
Well, if they're gonna keep making more, yeah, because this is actually the oh, what's the word? This finishes out the Norse saga.
right, yeah. So that's what I'm like. Word, we're getting other stuff because I've been wanting to get
Yeah,
some
and
of that Egyptian mythology.
I think I remember watching interviews when the game initially came out, and I got to that part, and they were talking like, yeah, you know, those are probably future area or places we want to go. And I'm like, oh shit, yeah.
Right?
Let's go to
We just
Egypt.
need a
I wanna
God of
fuck up
War
Ra.
or like Kratos kill 'em all game where he just is like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna take out Jesus, Buddha, pharaohs, like I'm going after everybody.
Okay,
Like John
Muhammad.
Wick style, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they'd be able to get away with all that one. There'd be a lot of backlash, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, I mean, you also kind of destroy his character too, especially after the first game. He's not just an all-killing machine anymore.
Yeah, you know, and I'm actually going through the third game again right now, God of War 3. You know, just seeing the big contrast of old Kratos versus new old Kratos.
Right. I just want to see him rip some like pacifist gods in half.
Yeah, but he wouldn't seem the type unless if they were picking a fight, in which
Right.
case they wouldn't be like a pacifist god anymore.
Right.
You
He,
know,
like butt fucks Gandhi.
it would be very out of character, unfortunately, but it's funny,
Yeah.
even though Gandhi wasn't a god.
Oh yeah.
And at that point, it starts getting extreme. You get Mother Teresa coming out there, starts fucking like wielding a bow staff or whatever, you know.
Yeah. Fuck.
But I mean, we saw he's gonna fight Thor. I mean, we're looking for Odin.
Yeah.
I mean, they show Tyr. Like, we finally
Yeah.
found Tyr.
He's
Yeah.
fucking massive.
It's interesting that they show Freya, though. Pretty.
I thought
well-
Freya was dead.
No,
she-
she wasn't dead.
She just took Baldur's body and fucked off.
That's
Yeah.
right.
But she held that grudge, so
Yeah, so I wonder if the first bits of the trailer are, like, kind of where the game picks up.
it
seemed
might
like
be.
it.
But it seemed like some time has passed, though. So
Well, yeah, it's sometime
Yeah.
has passed. Like, Ragnarok is already happening. But, like, showing Freya attacking him so fast. Like, I think that kind of snowy areas to be the middle. Because I didn't even catch it before, where you see them first riding on the sled. That's actually all of Tyr's temple, or the giant lake from that area.
Oh,
And it seems like we're going to a dwarf village.
dwarfs.
Yeah, it's got to be somewhere south because it looks very not tropical, but warmer.
Now, was I tripping or was I seeing them fighting frog dudes?
It might be.
They look like battle toads.
I just really like the scene where he's up on that mountainside and he's looking down over everything and it's super green and there's like that big lake in the middle. Like those areas to me, when I can get up high like that and be introduced into an area or a place, that makes me want to explore. It's just there's something about it. When a game has that, like I'm like, fuck, I'm sold. Like I want to go play in there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, from seeing the trailer, there's a part where this dude beams down like on a rainbow thing, kind of like a Bifrost. I wonder if we're gonna start fighting actual Valhallan Viking people, because it seems like that.
Right.
You know, so far I've seen a centaur. Dude just punches him. I don't see the frog people.
Well, they're looking for Loki as well.
I probably just didn't see it right because I was watching this on my phone. So
you know, I saw just now Atreyu like summon a spirit deer and just like ram everything while he's on it.
Yeah. I see that he's a little bit more tatted up now too. He's got that tat down his neck and everything. That's pretty.
He wants to know what it means to be Loki.
Buddy, you don't want to know.
Dude.
Mythological Loki is dark.
Yeah, it gets weird. It's real weird. But of course, a lot of those mythologies are like, so and so stuck their dick in this. So and so had the kid with the horse. So and so let their hand get bit off. You know, like. And then so-and-so fucked their mother. And
no. When you look at Zeus, he fucked everything.
He literally stuck his dick in everything.
In everything. Which, I don't know how he didn't end up with God AIDS.
Loki was a lot of the same way, though. Loki fucked a lot of weird shit. Like, Loki fucks a horse.
Yeah.
In mythology. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure it's not even a godly horse. It's just a fucking horse.
It's a regular horse, yeah.
Yeah. But anyways,
unfortunately,
the point.
Unfortunately, it won't come out till like maybe 2023. It sucks, but I will contain my hype.
Yeah, it's hard, like me.
Yep. Well, that was the entire show. Yeah, it was an okay showcase. I mean, you know, biggest reveals, God of War, both Marvel games. Yeah, Spider-Man.
Is there one that y'all are like looking forward to more so than another?
God of War.
God of War.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's probably my top one.
Really?
God of War and Spider-Man. Yeah.
Interesting.
It actually goes God of War, Guardians, and Wolverine. I only say Guardians is because it comes out fairly soon, and you know I dig sci-fi shit like that.
Right.
It looks so good.
I'm pretty torn between Ghostwire and Guardians right now.
I mean, I really wanted to play that Forspoken, and me personally, I'm very excited for Gran Turismo.
Yeah.
So I have like a handful of ones that I'm really excited for, but I guess
Wonderland's
definitely the top one. Yeah, the
Tiny
cool.
Tina's Wonderland. Yeah,
and that's the thing. Like, I actually watched it and was not disappointed with what I watched. And that was
Project Eve. I'm really excited to see where it goes.
Yeah, I just want to. I want to know a little bit more before I start heading in the hype direction.
Right.
But overall, not a bad show. Things to look forward to.
Definitely not the worst show that we've had.
I was about to say most of the games. Yeah, most of the games coming out were like coming out either next year or the year after, though.
Right.
Yeah. And you remember, like, what was it, like 2 years ago when we were having these video game conferences and like everything that was coming out was super dog shit that like
nothing.
And literally fucking who was it? It was Blizzard. Blizzard was like, what? You don't have phones? You don't want our games?
Oh,
well, then go fuck yourself.
What do you mean you don't want Diablo on mobile? Like, well, no one fucking asked for that, dude.
But that's like how every game company felt during that time was like, oh,
Yeah.
we'll release whatever the fuck we want, and you're gonna like it.
Well, sorry, bro, but back to reality.
Yeah.
Not
It
everyone's
was
gonna
bad.
eat all the shit out of your ass, so
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
I mean, would they? Is that an option?
I guess it depends.
Oh.
There are shills like that.
We'll put that to another podcast then.
Oh yeah.
We got a lot.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's pretty good. We've been going for almost an hour and a half.
Woo!
Yeah.
Not bad.
You want to talk about Ava still?
I'm down. I don't care.
No. That's like another 3-hour discussion, probably.
Absolutely. That's one of those where we're gonna have to like really clean up our thoughts before we jump into that, or we'll be all over the place.
Right.
Shit, make your notes about Berserk, because that might take a long one.
Yeah, I probably ought to, because I've been wanting to reread that anyways, so it just gives me a good excuse.
I might do that soon.
Yeah. Try to find some of those lost chapters.
But I think we can end it there.
Yeah.
Sound pretty good?
Sounds good to me.
Alrighty. Well, this was our first episode. Intro sucked and everything. It's first episode. We'll get kinks out and shit. We don't even have a name for this podcast.
Yeah. Comment down below if you got a good name for this fucker.
I mean, we give us something relevant but eye-catching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. And we'll give you a shout out.
Anyway, I have been the Dr. Jones, along with the Asilla and the Blexens. We'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.